But once again, it should be easy piece for LSU. Win game 1, get to game 2, and they will face the winner of Rhode Island and Dallas Baptist. Just a reminder, this is double elimination. So even if LSU loses game 1 or they lose or if they win the game 1 and lose game 2, they're still in it. Double elimination. But I think all you guys are very familiar with how it works. I mean, we're LSU baseball fans, are crying out loud. But they'll face the winner of Rhode Island and Dallas Baptist. Let's start with Dallas Baptist first, Zach. And this is the team, really the only team you should be worried about all the teams because it is baseball. Anything can happen. But if you had a worry meter of 0 to 10, Dallas Baptist is like 7 or 8 because they're a very successful program. Mm-hmm. The athletic program is literally the baseball program. They're known for their baseball program. They're all their athletic programs. Their baseball program is the only one that's D1. So that lets you know how big of a deal their baseball program is to that university. They're the second seed in the Baton Rouge Regional. They're 40-16. This is their 11th straight appearance this is their 11th straight postseason appearance, and they've also appeared in 2 super regionals. I think their most recent one was in 2021. But they're also a very well-rounded team. They're top 25 in scoring, strikeouts per 9 innings, and field percentage. So it's a very, very good team. And if you look at some of the other statistics, they're usually in the top 75, top 60. Once again, very solid program. Also, Michael Bucknam, former LSU Tiger, is also one of their better starters on the scene. I think he's I got to pull up their stats, but I think his record is 7-3 on the year. So he's been a solid pitcher for Dallas Baptist. But Zach, I know you wrote an article, but kind of previewing the Baton Rouge Regional. From looking at them, what are your overall thoughts about this Patriot team?
Well, this won't be the first time if they meet. This won't be the first time LSU sees Dallas Baptist. These two, of course, met in late February, early March. They met at Globe Life Field on a weeknight. LSU won that game 7-3, I believe, and Connor Ware got the start. And that was the type of game where I even wrote on the site, I'm glad that LSU challenged themselves to play a team like Dallas Baptist because DBU notwithstanding, LSU's non-conference strength schedule is so bad that Dallas Baptist is by far and away the best non-SEC team they played. This Dallas Baptist team won't be intimidated by the stage. Like you said, that they are a frequent NCAA tournament team. Now, we've seen the box get crazy, so maybe that might be too big of a stage for them. We'll find out. But also excited to potentially see, I believe, I think Hannegriff tweeted it. There's a chance that LSU could see Micah Bucknam probably in the winner's bracket game if they elect to hold him for the Rhode Island game, or maybe he can make a relief appearance on like a Monday if there's a game 7, if necessary, type of situation. You nailed it perfectly, though. If there's any team in this region to be worried about, it's Dallas Baptist. Still would expect LSU to sweep through the regional, but if someone can beat this LSU team, it's DBU. Not sure they can do it twice, but they can definitely draw some blood from LSU this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, actually looking at some of their players, they're kind of looking at some of the stats, but they are batting 304 on the year. So like I said, there's a very solid hitting team. They actually have 4 guys who have hit over 10 home runs. Their most effective hitter has been Nathan Humphreys, who is batting 360 on the year. He's had 77 hits, which is a team high, 16 doubles and 2 triples and 17 home runs. He also has 66 RBIs. And Zach, I want to look this up too. Look up, the stolen base because they have stolen a lot. But there's actually 4 guys on this team that have stolen, 14 plus stolen bases. I'm not sure if you put that in your article or not, but they have the ability to steal bases. And from looking at it, they've stolen 104 bases on 122 attempts. So not only are they effective hitters, they are also very effective base runners, and they're not afraid to pull a fast one on you. And also, their on-base percentage is .418, which is pretty solid as a team, regardless if they're mid-major or not. This is the best team that outside of LSU that is in this regional. This is a very dangerous team. They're not afraid to play the big boys. Like I said, in their athletic program, they're the only one that their baseball program is the only one that is a Division I program. So I mean, they're a very dangerous team. But Zach, if I'm LSU, like, how do I combat? I know their pitch staff has been awesome, but should we be worried about their bullpen against this very dangerous Dallas? But I know their bullpen's been getting better, but once again, that has been a kind of a concern about LSU throughout the season. Maybe not as much as their hitting problems, but how do you think this pitching staff will fare against this deadly Dallas Baptist offense?
I think it just depends on who Jay elects to start in the Little Rock game. Jay has a history of, I don't like when he does it, but he tends to throw, let's point to 2023. There was no reason to throw Paul Skeens against that really bad Tulane team, but Jay did it. Skeens went the distance. Was it overkill? Probably. But, the trade-off was Skeens saved your bullpen by going the distance. I am worried that he'll do that again this weekend, or on Friday, I should say. I'm worried that he'll I don't want to say needlessly, but he'll over enthusiastically, I'm not sure what the right word is, but I'm worried he's going to lean on Cade Anderson to beat Little Rock when in reality, he's probably could be fine throwing, Jaden Newt and Chase Shores. Like what they did in the Ole Miss game, that's probably good enough to get you home against Little Rock. I've noticed also DBU has a lot of left-handed bats, so I'm wondering Jay likes to play matchups. Does he purposely save Cade Anderson for DBU for a potential winner's game and throw Ianson instead on Friday? He said after Hoover, when he threw Anderson and Ianson the same night, the reason we did this is so both guys would have their full allotment of rest and we could go either direction on Friday when the tournament starts. Kind of makes me wonder, did Jay know something was happening with the regional, with who they might be hosting? But if DBU does have such a lefty heavy lineup, that kind of makes me think that he'll buck the trend a little bit and hold Anderson for game 2. And if that's the case, if Anderson is the game 2 starter, I say you ride him until he can't, basically. We've seen Anderson go the distance once before already at Oklahoma. The stakes are way higher this time around. You got to get to that 2-0 spot. You got to stay in the winner's bracket. So if Jay's watching this show, which I'm sure he is, he's one of the 33 people out there watching. Listen to me, Jay. I know ball more than you do, clearly. So let's ride Cade Anderson. Let's do lefty-lefty.
And I will say this too. I'm probably the only person that wasn't against Paul Skeens through game 1.
We argued about it. You and me argued about it.
Like I was okay with it because for you to throw Paul Skeens out there, you were literally trying to be like, okay, look, because usually it worked out well. If you looked at the certain factors, number one, the bullpen has been so-so throughout the year because of the injuries you've had, right? Some guys had to change the rules and how they come out of the bullpen and whatnot. That's why you saw the bullpen struggle down the stretch. So you weren't sure how the bullpen was going to be. Number 2, Oregon State's pitching rotation was depleted because of injuries. Kind of the same thing with LSU, but on a much worse scale. And on top of that, Oregon State didn't have the same caliber of pitching staff that LSU did. LSU still had a very good pitching staff with Paul Skeens and Ty Floyd. But we also didn't expect Patrick Hurd to pitch like a boss. Like no one, I don't think anybody expected that. But really,
I didn't have 6 innings from Nate Ackenhouse in an elimination game projected out that season. Also, it's all hindsight too. But this time of year in Baton Rouge, the weather's really iffy, and weather disrupted that Oregon State game, and you burned Ty Floyd a little too early.
Sure, too. And also the rain helped too. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh my God, that was horrible. I was there for hours, Zach. Hours.
What if you wasted Paul Skeens for like 4 innings, and then you're like, well, damn, we can't use him again because of the rain. So it all worked out, but I'm also wondering if that's partially like in Jay's head this weekend.
Yeah, and that was the third. Now now you've mentioned that was also. I remember at the time when I was arguing with you, that was the third thing you mentioned, the weather. Like, might as well throw out post games while it's sunny, like,
yep.
Because you don't want to have it rain and then in the middle of Paul Skeens pitching, and you've already used maybe 2 or 3 bullpen guys. I mean, I think so. I think overall Jay's strategy worked. It was a ballsy one. Don't get me wrong, it was a ballsy one. But I agree. But I also agreed with it, right? Because at the time, you're trying to do whatever you can to get to Omaha, and they sure did. Of course, we all know what happened after that. But
I'm looking at the weather right now. Since we're talking about it, Friday, 40% chance of thunderstorms. Sunday, 40% chance of thunderstorms. Saturday seems okay. So I do wonder how much of the forecast Jay's paying attention to, and if that's going to dictate.
I'm pretty sure Jay will prefer it rain because we've seen what happens a lot the last few times it's rained, and miracles have happened. But anyway, let me go back to the stats, kind of go over this team a little bit more. Grady Keaton, batting 348 on the year with 57 hits, 13 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 home runs. Even though he's not really doesn't hit for power, he's a very good contact hitter and also has the ability to get on base. Also, 17 stolen bases on the year. Also, Chaden Krause, 344 on the year with 74 hits, second on the team. 19 doubles, which is a team high, and 14 home runs. He also is very effective at stealing bases, 6 for 7 on the year. And then you also have Grant J, 322 on the year, 19 homers, which is a team high, 17 doubles to go along with the triple, 59 RBIs, and also is a very highly effective at stealing bases, 14 of 15 on the year. And of course, Joey Narrett also is highly effective at stealing bases, 18 stolen bases on 19 attempts. Once again, Dallas Bats is not only very good at hitting and getting on base, but they're also highly effective of stealing bases. So that is something that LSU's catchers need to be on high alert. And I really like LSU's catchers this year. I trust them. But once again, this is a very tricky Dallas Baptist team that is a very well-rounded team. And if you look at the pitching, of course, we already mentioned Micah Bucknam. He's 6-1 on the year. Has started all 12 of his appearances, 78 strikeouts and 59.2 innings pitched. You also have Ryan Borberg. He's 8-4 on the year. He also had 73 strikeouts and 75 innings pitched. Has allowed 70 hits. And you also have to take a look at James Ellwanger. He's 4-2 on the year, 3.81 ERA, has 90 strikeouts, which leads the team in 59 innings pitched. And if you want to take a look at some of the bullpen guys on the team, Tyler Schott, 19 appearances, 265 on the year. He actually leads the team in ERA in terms of if you look at the number of appearances, and his 24 strikeouts and 17 innings pitched. Mason Peters leads the team with 4 saves. He's 4-2 on the year with a 4.70 ERA. He also has 54 strikeouts on the year and 38.1 innings pitched. Expect to see a lot of them come out. Expect to see him this weekend in Baton Rouge. You also probably want to take a look at Jared Jenkins. He's appeared in 21 games, which is the most in this pitching rotation. So they like to use him a lot out of the bullpen. He has a 5.14 ERA, which is a little high, but once again, they like to use him a lot because he's made 21 appearances on the year, which is the most on the team. He also has 48 strikeouts and 49 innings pitched, but he's also allowed more hits than innings pitched, 56 hits and 49 innings pitched. So once again, well-rounded team. They are top 20. They're actually 16th in strikeouts per 9 innings. Highly effective team. And this is a team that you should be on alert if you're LSU. You also can't forget about Rhode Island, although I don't think I'm as worried about Rhode Island. Zach, can you give us some insight about Rhode Island if you have some?
DBU is just so much better than them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this really is. And I'm not trying to disparage Rhode Island and Little Rock, but this really it's a 2-horse race between DBU and LSU. And I'd be shocked if LSU ends up playing Rhode Island at any point in this game. If LSU plays Rhode Island, either they got upset by Little Rock or Rhode Island upsets DBU. But I just can't foresee a situation where they play. Are they the Rams out of the A10?
Yeah.
I just can't see it.
And to give some respect to Rhode Island, they're 38-20 on the year. They're the Atlantic 10 conference champions, so they're a very good team. They're actually probably they're obviously better than Little Rock. And we're giving a lot of light on Dallas Baptist, of course, because I think a lot of people are, and that's the team I think everyone down here is expecting the Tigers to play, but it's just that's how it. I feel like that's the team that LSU will most likely play rather than let's just say Rhode Island, just because we think Dallas Baptist is a very good team. However, look, anything can happen in the sport of baseball, and I'm actually going to look up their stats right now. But look, they're a very good team as well, right? They're batting .309 on the year, which is pretty solid. Actually, they have a better batting average than Dallas Baptist. Reese Maroney, Anthony DePino, Eric Genther, and Jack Hopko and Brody McKenzie are all batting over 300. So they have 5 batters who are hitting over 300. And also they can hit the long ball. Anthony DePino has 19 home runs. Jack Hopko has 15 home runs. DJ Perrin has 15 home runs. They have the ability to hit the long ball. They have hit 85 home runs on the year. So they're a very good hitting team. And of course, if you look at their pitching, they have a 6.20 ERA. So I think they're probably a better hitting team than they are a pitching team. But once again, this Rhode Island team is very good. Obviously, they won the conference championship. They won their tournament championship this season. So congratulations to Ram. I also want to highlight them a little bit just because it seems like we're disrespecting them when we're not. We just really expect LSU to play Dallas Baptist. But I just said Rhode Island's a very good hitting team, and also anything can happen in baseball, in the sport, let alone whether it's professional, whether it's college, high school, youth baseball, you name it.